This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Shalom, shalom, Akim. Before I begin, I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. All right, double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who rule and who teach well. Peace and salutations unto the elect, hopeful elect. I'm the brother Gabari Allah coming at you with another lesson. All right, and today's lesson is going to be based off this Gaza Strip. Okay. Salakia. It's going to be based off this Gaza Strip. All right, so pretty much I have this article pulled up that, I always get these articles by Reuters. Okay, and this article pretty much is entitled, Israeli Tanks Kill 59 People in Gaza and Crowd Trying to Get Food Aid, Medics Say. All right, now this was published on June 17th, and it reads, Israeli military acknowledges firing, says it is investigating. Witnesses say tanks opened fire on crowds in Khan Yunis. Hundreds have been killed trying to get aid in the past 3 months. So this war is ramping up. Okay, this war is ramping up. That's why I started off with Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Okay, and we're hearing about this war. All right, this war in Gaza and Israeli. See that ye be not troubled. Okay, so we are not troubled. We're not panicked. All right, it says, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right, so the end is not yet. All right, these little wars, okay, these small wars, these things must come to pass. Okay, and we are in this prophecy right now. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So these two nations are rising up against each other, and we are able to prophesy, and we're able to tell this beforehand. All right, back in 2020 when Russia and Ukraine first started their war in 2022, there was already videos being made about those topics, about these small wars. Okay, really, these wars are not small. These are tanks, they're nukes. These are big wars with a lot of casualties. Okay, there's a lot of casualties in these wars. Okay, and that's how these end times are going to come. It says, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So these things have just started. Okay, these things are just started. Okay, I'm going to jump down to verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's exactly what's happening. Okay, the love of many are waxing cold. People are no longer worried about, other people. They just want to get up out of there, they real quick. Okay, people are no longer worried about these other nations. Okay, America is no longer worried. Okay, America is not trying to involve themselves, and really America always involves themselves. Okay, and America will involve themselves eventually, I believe, if they haven't already. All right, so this is the book of Psalms, chapter 110. And I'm going to start at verse 4. The Lord Yahweh hath sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. Here's the point. He shall judge among the heathen. Okay, and these two nations, the Israelis and Gaza, they are heathens. He shall fill the places with dead bodies. And that's exactly what's going on right now. These places are being filled with dead bodies. These places are filled with they're filled with Salaki. I can't pronounce it, but they're filled with destruction. Okay, there's another word for it that starts with a C, but I can't pronounce it. Okay, it says, he will wound the head over many countries. It says, he shall drink of the brook in the way, therefore shall he lift up the head. All right, in the NLT it says, he will punish the nations and fill their land with corpses. He will shatter heads over the whole earth. Okay, and that's what's happening. These places are being filled with corpses. Okay, these places are being filled with corpses. All right. And real quick, I brought this out last time, but we could bring it out again. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 4. For he is the minister of power to thee for good, but if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. Okay, and this is talking about Esau. Okay, Esau is the Lord's sword, and he doesn't bear it in vain. Esau is Esau is a very brute man. Okay, say what you want about Esau, but he, when it's time to execute, he's gonna execute beneath the names of Yahweh Shem Shai. It says, for he is the minister of power, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that have done evil. So ultimately, the Lord is really using Esau, okay, to judge these other nations. Okay, and these other nations will be judged, but ultimately, these other nations are also going to fight back against Babylon and Esau. Okay, the Edomites. It says, wherefore ye must needs to be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause pay ye tribute also, for they are power's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing. Render therefore to all their duties, tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. Okay, and ultimately Esau is using the Lord is using Esau. Okay, the Lord is using Esau to really just cause hell. Okay, and that's what we're seeing over there in Gaza. Okay, that's what we're seeing in Gaza. It says, back to the article, it says, Israeli tanks fired into a crowd trying to get aid from trucks in Gaza on Tuesday, killing at least 59 people, according to medics, in one of the bloodiest incidents yet in mounting violence as desperate residents struggle for food. Videos shared on social media showed around 1,000 mangled bodies laying in a street in Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip. The Israeli military, at war with Hamas-led Palestinian militants in Gaza since October 2023, according firing in the area, and said it was looking into the incident. All right. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree an unrighteous decree, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from the judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. What will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from afar? To whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory? Exactly. Okay, it says, without me they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is still stretched out. Okay, and the hand is still stretched out unto you, Jake, you so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans. Okay, and the reason why I brought this out is because ultimately these are going to come to America. All right, we see the little preview that's go over there in Gaza, but with the military and the things that are going to happen. Okay, the things that are going to happen to America. Okay. Jeremiah 15. And I'm going to start at verse 2. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such are as for the captivity to the captivity. All right, there's a lot of people dying, and there's a lot of people dying of famine. Okay, and we read that people are trying to look for food. Verse 3, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord Yahweh, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. So you're going to have these animals, okay, that the Lord created. Ultimately, they're going to be created for his vengeance as well. So we're just getting started. Really, this is just the breaking point. This is just the beginning of it all. Okay, the beginning of sorrows, as I read in Matthew. All right. All right. So you don't want to be caught up in this. Okay, you want to repent, because ultimately these nukes are going to come to Babylon. Okay. And it actually says that in the book of Jeremiah. All right, and real quick, I'll close out on that. It says, and I always bring this out. This is one of my favorite scriptures to bring out. It's Jeremiah 50 and 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. Right? You're going to be astonished because you're not going to understand how the hell this happened. Okay, put yourselves in area against Babylon, round about all ye that bend the bow, meaning all the nations that have the bow. What is that bow? What are those arrows? Those are thermonuclear destruction nukes. It says, shoot all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she had sinned against the Lord Yahweh. All right, so these things are going to come to America ultimately. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying, man. Lord willing, it open your eyes to how vicious and how cruel, okay, and a war really is, man. Okay, this ain't no Call of Duty. This ain't no, Black Ops. All right, people are really dying, okay, and the Lord is really causing judgment, man. So, now's your time to get right, man. So, Lord willing was edifying. Lord willing was uplifting. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations unto the elect.